My name is Doughty. I'm the owner of Silvercreek Realty Group. I'm your host today, and I've got Grant Porter with me from Bluebird Home Loans. Welcome, Grant.
Thank you so much.
Glad to have you. So
good to be here.
Yeah, Bluebird is a relatively new company. Tell me about it and why you're excited to be a member of it.
It's working with people that have similar values to us.
Okay.
It's a small company, and I think small companies are always fun. We're going to be a little more nimble.
Yeah.
Than the bigger people, which makes us more flexible, probably a little more innovative.
Sure.
And the partnerships that we have with Bluebird are outstanding and just exciting to be part of it.
We are very excited. As Silvercreek, we have a lot of our agents who are actually owners in the company, and then a lot of owners outside of Silvercreek who are members of other companies. And to me, it just feels like a real collaboration of community, where we have all of these different top agents who have come together to really support a company that shares the same values, principles, follow through, commitment to the home buyer. It's exciting.
100%. Yeah. And to have that many people together on the same page is just really cool, I think.
Exactly. And it's a little bit of a scary time, right? I mean, you've got companies going out of business left and right. And to me, there just seems like a neat opportunity to grow something. I've always been raised with a mindset to be a contrarian, right? When people are fleeing from something, usually means there's a good opportunity there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell me about your background. I mean, how long have you been in this industry, and did you have a life before originating loans?
Yeah, good question. I had a little bit of a life,
okay,
before, but I actually not too far out of college.
Gotcha.
So I came out of college and I was actually running a whitewater rafting company.
Cool.
Which was a lot of fun. And then my brother Tyler, who I know you've interviewed before and chatted with him. He was already in the industry, and my sister-in-law had started a company, a small brokerage.
Okay.
And so they were in the industry together, and I was doing some rafting things and had another little side business. And they looked at me, and this is in 2001, and they were like, "Hey, this is a great industry. I think that you might really enjoy it." And so they were really the ones that were the catalysts for me to get into the business.
Okay. What do you enjoy? I mean, after talking to Ty's like, I don't like the paperwork. I don't like that stuff. I like meeting with people.
Yeah.
That's really his strength. And, are you similar in that regard? You guys, or are you different in your personality types?
Yeah. Good question. I think we have some similarities for sure.
Okay.
One of them, the big one is the people side of things.
Okay.
I do like to be a little more on the analytical side sometimes too, and just kind of problem solving.
Yeah.
That's always fun for me. But I would definitely say people is the biggest piece. I enjoy helping people and helping people find their dream.
Mm-hmm. Having been in this business since 2000, you've obviously seen ups and downs, and to be able to weather all of this kind of financial turmoil that we've seen over the past 15, 20 years. What's been your secret to success?
Boy, good question. And some years I'd say we're very successful, and some other years not so successful.
But you survived, right? To still be in business says a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the biggest piece is just consistency.
Okay.
And really making the negative positive as much as you can. You come into some of these difficult situations, whether it be the current environment, whether it be a one-off loan or the economy in general, and just really trying to find the avenue where you can help and stay positive. Positivity, I think, is the biggest piece.
Yeah. There's a lot of negativity out there, right?
Right.
Where do you fill your cup? I mean, I talk to a lot of people, especially when in an industry like ours is difficult and we're experiencing, tough times. Where do you go to get that positive juju, so to speak?
Yeah. It's because there is a lot of negative.
Yeah.
There is a lot of negative. I think a big piece is people you surround yourself with, right?
Okay. Yeah.
I think that's another exciting piece of Bluebird. Is just JJ, the exec, and then our executive team, and then Silvercreek's executive team.
Yeah.
The people you surround yourself with, you I don't know what the saying is. There's something out there that I can't come up with right now.
I've heard that if you look at the top 5 people that you spend the most time with, right?
Yep.
You're going to earn somewhere close to them.
Yep.
But you also take on some of their characteristics and traits and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I was trying to get to.
I need some new friends, maybe. No, I'm just kidding.
It can be a tough market, and a tough environment, and being positive. I go to the people that I surround myself with, but also material. I like to read. I like to. I don't read tons. I like to listen.
Me too. Yeah.
Right. I do like to read when I can force myself to do it, but I do listen to a lot of podcasts and a lot of books. And
any in particular? What's your favorite?
A guy who I started listening to recently was Tim Ferriss. And I just stumbled upon him actually. I'll do searches for like the most positive podcasts out there, and then I'll try to kind of narrow down some. But that's one that I have been listening to a little bit recently, and he's been good. But I can't remember. I think the book that he had that was kind of the groundbreaking book was Atomic Habits. I think is what it was. I think that's him.
Breaking it down into daily, hourly.
That's either him or someone he interviewed that I'm now mixing.
There you go. Yeah. That's one of the common themes. I've had the opportunity to get to know JJ and interview you and Ty and Elisa, and the common thread I would say throughout all of my interviews and interactions is consistency. And I think that's a huge takeaway for a lot of our agents who are listening to this podcast. Is doing the same thing over and over and over and over again.
For sure. Yeah.
And that's tough.
It is tough. Yeah. And it's funny. I've met with some agents who I met with when I first started my career 23 years ago.
Sure.
And I can remember calling on them and trying to do business with them back then. And now we fast forward to today, and it's funny. It has this feeling of like, you know what? We've really figured it out now, right?
Yeah.
I go back and I think about the things that we were doing back then and how we just conducted business and our influences and everything else. And I just think everything kind of over time, it builds on itself, and you just learn a little every single year. And I really think we're at this point now, like as a team, collectively, where we have figured out a lot. Of course, there's a lot more to learn. Like, I'll be the last person to say we've got it figured out. Yeah. But it's so much better than where it was, and that is due to the learning of becoming.
How does that translate to the buyer? You know what I'm saying? In terms of the experience they would have experienced in 2000, at your first company versus when a customer walks in the door and the interaction and the feeling and the gifting and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Compare and contrast those two, 15 years apart.
It's a great question. And I struggle when you ask me that question. I struggle to put myself in that person's place to be like, what would that feel like?
Sure.
I have a guess, and my guess now is that I think that someone can feel when another person has a system in place.
When you got your crap together,
right?
Yeah,
sure. And I think more than anything, it's just this system. Yeah, it's like they've got a system. Like, I'll give an example. So we took our son to Taekwondo years ago, and we walked into this place, and I'm not here to give a plug for a Taekwondo place in Eagle.
Jimmy Rex Taekwondo.
But yeah. Okay. But holy cow, like it was just like they have a system. They know exactly what to do with this person from point A to point B. And not only that, they communicated it. You could just see it, and it was just like, we know what we're gonna get.
Yeah.
We know how they're gonna do it. And it was just impressive. And I think that when you go into any scenario, any situation, whether it's working with a lender or going to Taekwondo or going to a restaurant, you can just tell, right? You have a feeling of like, okay, they get it. And a lot of it is just that consistency and being able to communicate effectively.
Cool. I think that's profound because that's the repeatable element that you're looking for to create success. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if I'm applying with you or JJ or whoever it may be, I know I'm going to get the same customer service. And if I'm an agent, that's pretty comforting. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Because there's a lot of great loan officers out there, but I imagine that the varying degrees of quality and service, even within a lot of these organizations, is vastly different. For sure. You know what I'm saying? And so I appreciate the standards that have been put in place.
Well, yeah, and I could tell you, it comes right from the top, right? JJ and Elisa have really put together a system, and especially Elisa and what she has brought to the team. that's really when we really changed.
That's cool. Yeah. I've heard little anecdotes about, them saying, well, the cards are on your desk, please sign them. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
I mean, to have that kind of system where it just happens on your behalf and all you have to do is sign a name to something.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we as realtors can learn a lot from that, is putting those systems into place so that our clients have that same repeatable outcome over and over and over again.
For sure.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little locally here. What are your passions? I mean, do you have any community involvement that you're really excited about?
Yeah, I do actually. I'm on the board of Make-A-Wish Idaho.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got involved with Make-A-Wish originally. Boy, I'd say probably 10 years or maybe a little bit more. Mm-hmm. This whitewater rafting company that I told you about, my wife and I still own that. And so it's just the side business that we run, but it's a really fun business, and a lot of people will come to us and ask us for donations,
for trips
to
or
give
whatever.
trips to auctions and such. And so there were some people that were on the board years and years ago that came to me who had been on the river with us and said, "Hey, would you be interested in donating to our fundraiser?"
Yeah.
So we did. So we gave a few trips, kind of back-to-back years, and then I got to know them through that, and then all of a sudden, I got an invitation to be on the board, and
wow.
And it was an honor, and I was really happy to be part of it. And I think I'm going on almost 6 years now, so 5 years or so, and it's super rewarding. Their mission's amazing. It's a mission that's really hard not to get behind, and all these kids to watch the effect that it has on the kids and their families. It's really powerful, and
that's pretty cool.
It's a good one. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
A family here, or do you have a married, single?
Yep.
Kids?
Yep. I've got a wife who's wonderful and talk about inspiring.
Sure.
We were talking about inspiring people earlier, and people that keep you going. And,
yeah, for sure.
And motivated. She's amazing. So I've got my wife Kim, and then we have a son Bennett. So we just have one son.
How old is he?
He's a senior.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he's graduating from Boise High this year. And
I'm a fellow Boise High grad too as well.
Oh, you
so,
are?
Yep. Go Braves.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. And so he'll be going from here to Utah. He's going to University of Utah next year.
Oh, wow. So he's smart.
Yeah. He's
takes after his mom.
Yep. Yep.
Well, that's cool. And so you'll be an empty nester then.
Empty nester, one and done. And
wow.
I'll tell you, it doesn't feel good. Like I don't want him to be gone. Right. It's not. People always say it's bittersweet, but I don't even see the sweet side.
The sweet side, yeah. You must have a really good kid, so that says a lot for him.
That's true. He's a great kid. Yeah, he's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Any pearls of wisdom you want to give to our agents as they're listening here? In terms of your experience, anything you probably hear a lot on the lender side, right?
Sure.
Where you develop those relationships.
Yeah.
Any feedback that you can give us as agents through the process that can help us work better together?
Yeah, from the client side, or just from
both. Even both. Yeah, from the client side, things you might hear from the buyers, or how can we do a better job in terms of passing off a referral or communication, or what do you like to see? I mean, what helps make the process better?
Yeah, for us and for me especially, the communication piece is huge, right? And just being able to be accessible and being able to talk to each other.
Pick up your phone.
Exactly. Picking up the phone.
Yeah.
It's a big one. And I have to admit, I mean, more and more texting is happening, but sometimes it's just like, we just got to get on the phone real quick.
Yeah.
And because you can go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth on text. And I think picking up the phone is a big one.
That's
I really do. And I think it's big for not just the lender and agent relationship, but the client, the clients, we don't hear a lot of, it's great. I think there are a lot of great agents.
Sure.
Because we don't hear clients, I don't hear clients complaining very often at all.
Wonderful.
But I think that getting the client to the lender as fast as possible, I think is a huge win. I think for everyone.
It saves our time, right? We got to know where they're at.
It saves your time. It saves stress for the client. As you get closer and they get more excited about finding a house, and then if they have to pile on all the lender side of things and shorten that window of time, I think that can be a real stress reliever. is just as
And
soon
it puts
as
you in a
can.
position of power, right? You're approved. You're ready to go. You know what you have.
For sure.
You have purchasing power. That's
Yeah.
cool.
And I think, as you ask that question, as I kind of answer it here, I think the bigger piece, I hear a lot from agents, the client isn't ready for you to talk to them. Like they're not ready for the introduction. And I think a place where maybe they could do better is the communication side of like, the sooner we get going with the lender, the better.
Yeah.
And I get it that people are wanting to respect their clients,
But they're almost, in my mind, they're doing them a disservice.
Right. Yeah.
Right. I don't see any scenario where it's not ideal to have that conversation with a lender because we know what we have.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it gets them. It shows their level of interest and commitment to the process as well.
For sure. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So I
love that.
I think if some of those agents that allow their clients to just kind of linger out there, if they could take that control a little bit back a little bit more and really drive that front end of it a little more, I think that could be helpful, whether it's with us or with whatever lender. It doesn't matter.
Well, I know from my own personal experience working with Bluebird that you guys will treat them. They would be foolish not to be honest, because you have that system that, will get them to what they want. And that's a home.
Sure.
So
yeah,
I'll just wrap it up by saying appreciate your time.
Yeah.
And we look forward to sending you lots of deals there at Bluebird Home Loans. And we know you're going to take care of them. So
Awesome.
cool. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Thank you.